Let's take a look at an example using something more real world than what we've been dealing with so far. If we were to take this string, we can test this simple regular expression against it, and it's testing for the names of any one of the Gospels. This regular expression evaluates true in this case. Here's an example of a regular expression that we might use in a real life situation. Here I'm testing an email address string. This is actually my email address against a regular expression that I'm going to design to see if the string follows the pattern that we think an email address should follow. So what is that pattern essentially? Any letter, be they capitals or lowercase or numbers or an underscore, we enclose all of those within square brackets to form a kind of a specific wildcard, as we've found out earlier in this movie. We want at least one of those, so we'll put a plus sign, but as many as it has. Then we're going to include an @ sign. Then we're going to say a very similar regular expression here, except this time we're going to include a hyphen. And we're going to have to put a backslash in before the hyphen so that MySQL recognizes that we're asking for a real hyphen here rather than another range, because we use the hyphen characters to express a range of characters within the square brackets. Then we use a plus to say we can have one or more of these characters. Then we're going to have to put a dot, because every email address should have a .com or a .net somewhere after the @ sign. However, once again, because MySQL will interpret this dot, because it's within a regular expression, as a wildcard symbol, we have to find a way of making sure that MySQL realizes that the dot we're talking about is a literal dot. So we're going to use a backslash to escape that character as well. That'll tell MySQL that it's looking for a literal dot. Once again, we're going to use another set of ranges here. A to Z, lowercase a to Z, O to 9, or a dot, and when we're using a dot within the square brackets, we don't need to escape it, or a hyphen. We do have to escape the hyphens, however, because there's a danger of them being interpreted as specifying a range. Once again, a plus operator, and finally a $sign to specify that we're locking this regular expression to the end of the string. As we can see, it's correctly identified that josh@meatech.net is a valid email address. Finally, let's take a look at the example that I mentioned in an earlier movie in this chapter, when I was saying that there was a more concise way that we could express the search that we did for recipes within the recipes table in the food database, whose name contains vegetables, carrot, cabbage, and because we hate coconut, we're going to try and avoid the word coconut in the name. So we're going to specify where name, regular expression, veg, and we'll use this straight up and down, or symbol, carrot, cabbage, and name doesn't match, we'll say not regexp coconut. So here essentially we're doing the same thing with 3 lines. We could put it all in one line if we wanted, but we're expressing the same match that we took by using like operator. It took us far more space and clauses in our select query to express the same thing. As we can see, we've successfully come up with the same answer using a much more concise manner of searching. This is the beauty of regular expressions. I suggest you have a play around with regular expressions yourself, and at the end of this chapter I will recap the different symbols and what they mean in the syntax recap.